Test, test. All right, we're live. Um, Welcome to this video. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm coming to you with some information and hopefully some knowledge based on what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, just to jump right in it. A rebrand. Now, yes, I understand I have AV podcast. I feel like it should be something more, and I know people say be original. Whatever you come up with, stick with it, because you never may know where it may lead you, and the majority of the people are correct. Now, this is where this comes in. After a nice little vacation for my birthday, which was pretty crazy. And addressing this real quick, I'm not a smoker. It was my birthday. Let me smoke a cigar. Jesus Christ. I don't smoke cigarettes, okay? Anyways, back to what the whole point of this video is for. So, pretty much, I have made this podcast my own. And I enjoy it. I love doing it. I love bringing videos like this to the table. The idea of it, though, is scattered. And I don't want it to be scattered anymore. So I'm going to put some examples right here of what I'm talking about. Now, these podcasts have an idea. The Fighter and the Kid. Whole idea is Brendan Schaub's a fighter. Brian calls himself the Kid. He's an old man, but they're comedians. Now, in no rights am I a comedian. No rights, I can make someone laugh here or there, but I'm in no rights a comedian. And I'm 22. The majority of the podcast world have created literally their lives since they were my age. Meaning I have time and I'm in no rush. So that's why I feel like I need to have this creative release and this creative process to get to my next step. AV podcast was great to me. You guys loved it, and I appreciated the support for it. Now, the whole idea behind of what I'm trying to do now, which is a rebrand, is try to be able to expand so people that, go to some, like let's say, for example, my Instagram page of AV Podcast, they go to it, they're like, so this is just a podcast? What's it about? AV podcast? What aviations? Because that's usually what the AV stands for, but it's actually my initials. And so I have some ideas for a new name to the podcast. AV Podcast is going nowhere. You don't have to unsubscribe from it. You don't have to, dislike it, unfollow it, none of that. It's staying right where it is. All it is getting is a name change. Because I have expressed some ideas to some fellow artists who are right here. And I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. So the magic word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, collaborate. Yes, collaborate. Collaboration. I enjoy seeing and hearing people collaborate, whether it's, let's say, Chris D'Elia's on The Fighter and the Kid, Joe Rogan when he has his many guests who collaborate, and, when YouTubers collaborate, it's fun. I like watching it, and I enjoy, seeing the whole process of how it goes down, seeing both perspectives. And so now that's kind of the idea of what I want to bring to the table. So my ideas are flowing. My school's going really great, just so that way you guys know that I'm not getting off the track from school. And my friendships are still there. My support's still there. I'm going nowhere. I'm just updating you on what I have in mind. So, 1, rebrand my podcast. Basically, give it a new name, a interesting name, to where it's like, that sounds funny, you know. So here's an example of what I thought of. So like my best friend Brian, one of my best friends Brian, back home for my birthday, all he kept on saying was, "You're gonna get so discombobulated." Now, if you don't know what the word discombobulated is, I'm not gonna tell you. Look it up. It's literally like not that hard. Like you've heard it somewhere before, and it's been used in a sentence that you have heard before. So get it. And so I thought about it because of the word and the meaning of it. Because the majority of the time I am discombobulated to the outside world. I'm, not all there to the point of like, I don't know things. Again, I could be totally wrong about what the meaning of it means because I have an idea of what it means. And I did read the definition of it, but I hope you guys get it. Meaning I don't know enough, and I want to know more. I love to learn. And so, yes, as many times as I say, I don't like school, it's not that I don't like it. I've never been a school student. I do like it sometimes, learning some new things and yada, yada, this and that. So the whole idea behind this is to expand, is to see new lights. For example, this video. I was blessed with this camera with a little bit of help and me a little bit of saving for my birthday. I got this nice camera which is recording me as we speak, and everything that I have, it's all right here. This is all my determination to create something more. I paid so much for this, new headphones, mixer, laptop, camera, tripod, etc. Everything's in the tip of my fingers. And I've started everything with my iPhone, a cheap microphone, and my laptop that I've had for like the longest time. Like that's all I've done from up until this point where now I have the tools. May not be up here tools, but they're right here tools. Affordable, usable, enjoyable for the audience. So, without further ado, this is my video. This is my rebrand. AV Podcast is no more. But, wow, I didn't really think about it. I had this idea for AV Studios, but I feel like that's going to give it away. Fuck it. You know what? My idea is to have a studio. And I'm not kidding, a studio because of, again, that word collaboration. Collabing, getting to know people from, other places. And like, again, when I was in Laredo, I've talked about this with some people. And the whole idea is to have a space to collaborate. Think of Casey Neistat's 368. The whole idea is to create podcasts with people so that way, the artists that are on Instagram that don't speak much, don't show their face, this, that, yada, yada, they can have a voice behind the podcast, given a voice, and it just is out there now. And so their audience could be like, oh, wow, we can't see him, but we would love to know his story. And his story or her story is going to be told on a podcast. Then there's video collaborations where, artists can time-lapse their art by creating someone else's logo with their art. Musicians can use microphones that I can supply to them to create the best music that they can. Again, this is, a rough draft. This is my first video that I would consider a YouTube video podcast. And so the whole idea behind it is to just get my feet wet and see where it takes me, because who knows? I mean, I watch podcasts where it's just one person. Granted, there's a second person behind the camera feeding information, but right now I'm just going based off the top of my head, and the whole idea is to reach my audience that I do have and let them know that I will continue pursuing what I want to, but that it will be at a slower rate for now. And I'm not going to be someone that says 2019 will be better. I had a rough 2018, I'm not going to lie. 2019 will be better, but it'll be a start. A wise man once said, everything in this world starts with a line. And that man, his name is Theo Von. He said it. He said everything starts with a line. It's the perfect time of year because it's the new year. Just draw yourself a line. Once you step over that line, guess what? Just keep on going forward. Keep on walking forward. Now I finally understand, and it took me a while to understand what the word hard work meant. What the phrase hard work meant. And you see celebrities, you see athletes, you see artists, you see podcasters, you see comedians, you see everyone say hard work. And I kept on hearing that, and I kept on telling myself, I'm putting in the work, it's just not coming out. And all I kept on hearing from these influencers or these artists, these entertainers, is that you don't get it. Yes, it's hard work that you put into it, but it doesn't mean the hard work behind the camera. Yes, I understand that everything that happens behind the camera or the microphone, everything that happens behind it is a lot of hard work and dedication, but anyone can do that. What about your content? Are you putting hard work into your content? Are you making it enjoyable to the viewers? Are you, being funny, being motivational, being, spreading information, spreading love, peace, anything? Is your content proof of your hard work? And so basically that's kind of what I want to do, is where I want to be able to make content based off of my hard work. My dad's birthday celebration, I thought of it, yeah, and I did put a lot of hard work into it, but I'm not gonna lie, it was easy. It was easy. Editing was not hard. I mean, it's late at night. Editing was not easy. It was actually hard. But that took a long process. That's just the length. That's how long it took. But it was pretty easy to film because I use an iPhone. And it was pretty easy to set up certain circumstances with the help of my siblings. But, all you have to do is just go for it. Because people may say, obviously hard work is hard work. It's supposed to be hard. But the only reason it is hard work is because you make it hard. Sometimes you actually have to just try it. It could be the easiest work, which then turns hard work into easy work, I guess. God, I'm literally just blabbering on about what my intentions are, what my ideas are. I don't know. I just look. This is something I would love to pursue. I have a camera now. I've always had the microphones. I kind of have time now, but the idea is to just create good content for people, And I know there's enough of those already, but hey, what's one more person going to do? Just make you that much happier. Because let's be honest, there are certain content creators that don't make the best of content anymore. So someone's got to step up And if it takes me 5 years to get to that point, it takes me 5 years. If it takes me 10, it takes me 10. I mean, let's be honest. The people that are famous now, that are old, they didn't have Instagram. They didn't have Facebook. They didn't have Twitter. They literally just went into an acting room and became actors, became singer-songwriters, became amazing artists, by themselves without any social media, anything like that, with a newspaper and a book. That's it. And the screen. But no other way until all of this social media came out to be. And so pretty much what I'm saying is, if they could do it, I can do it. But the end goal is never to get followers. It should never be that. But if I'm being bluntly honest, when I first started this whole podcasting journey, I did it because I loved podcasts. I loved hearing podcasts. And it sounds so fun. But again, I was listening to nothing but comedians. Then I started listening to sports. Then, it traveled on through all of the genres of podcasting you could go through. And so, when I came upon Joe Rogan's podcast, I would listen to it, but it's because every week it was either, it could be his friends, it could be a comedian, it could be literally a scientist, and then next week it could be a drummer, it could be a musician, it could go right back to a comedian, then back to like some sort of scientist, some sort of, actor. Like it literally went to all over the spectrum of types of entertainment. And so I gained knowledge here and there. And so that's kind of what I want to do, is, I guess, kind of what Joe Rogan does. I don't know. I understand why people have notes now, because I certainly just talk and talk. And it ain't getting better. And I got off topic. But guess what? If I learned one thing from a couple of people, you create what you want to create. And you say what you want to say. As long as you don't offend anybody. But I never try to offend anybody. But this is me. This is my new venture. This is my rebrand. And so I guess I'll be coming up with a new podcast name. So, of course, this will go up on iTunes and SoundCloud. But then this video will go up on YouTube. And we'll see what happens next after this. Hopefully something good. I'm going to try new techniques, new formats. If I do get a guest, hopefully, I don't know. You know what? Why don't we figure this out together, okay? Since you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube. Okay, first of all, let me end the podcast here on the microphone. Guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. If you are listening to this, head over to the YouTube page and check out the rest of the video, because I'm going to do a little vlog tour style. But follow me on all social media at Aron Villegas and the AV podcast for now, AV_podcast for now. And check back with me later on Twitter, Facebook. Also, if you are a friend of mine, obviously these are all my friends and supporters. DM me names for the podcast. Fuck it. I need a reason behind the podcast. So when people read it, like Discombobulated, people are gonna be like, "Why is it called Discombobulated?" And they jump onto the podcast, and boom, I tell them why it's called Discombobulated. Or why is it called The After Party? Why is it called Desk? Why is it called Chair? It could be literally called anything. Obviously, it just has to have some thought and some meaning behind it. But yeah, thank you guys for checking it out. Again, go to the YouTube page, Aron Villegas. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only way you can find me. I'll try to put a link in my social media so that way you could go straight to it. So that way it takes you there and it's easier. But yeah, I'm going to continue the video now. All right. So thank you. Oh, and if you are listening / watching this real quick, the audio is about to get really janky on the camera because I don't have a microphone for that one. Ugh. Whoa. All right, dope. So this is currently my room. We're doing a little tour of what I like to call mi casa, you know. Let's see if I can focus this real quick. So this is my setup. You have my microphone right there. Microphone right there. You have my laptop right there. Again, it's not focusing because I don't have autofocus on. There we go. That's all my setup right there. It's literally a mess. Got my Steelers gear right there. Got the Old Trafford. TV, PS4 setup. That's the microphone I used to use. Not anymore. There's a spare microphone on top of a bunch of books. We have the fridge that's, you know, it could be full with beer, booze, and whatnot. And yeah, that's my room, and that's my setup. So the camera is supposed to be like right there, and then it's just standing currently. And so, oh wait, I have an idea. Pop this out. All right, dope. So now, that was a tripod that I was holding. Don't know why I didn't take it out, but yeah. Jesus, you forget that I am a pretty dark kid, so I kind of need the light to lighten my skin, but I appreciate the color of my skin. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. I could be offending someone when I'm offending myself. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching the podcast video, and I hope to see you guys again soon. But if I do solo podcasts, the idea is to keep it under 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, if it goes over, it goes over. But if it's with a guest, I would hope for an hour podcast. And don't worry, next time I'll be definitely more organized than what I was tonight. It's pretty late while I'm doing this. But yes, I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page and subscribe to iTunes and SoundCloud. Sorry, had a little burp in me. And check out all my Instagram pages for AV_podcast, Aron Villegas 03 on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video and for staying to the very end of this long, rambly something content thing, whatever. But hopefully I gave you more insight into what I'm thinking about. I could have made this better, but it's already been done, and it can't be undone. It's just me rambling and me getting things off of my mind. I should probably end this already. But thank you guys so much. Everyone have a good morning, good night, and good afternoon, all right?